Okay, good question about pride and praise. Basically, the question is, how do you deal with your heart and pride when people praise you? This is coming from a friend who wants to make sure that their heart is always right with the Lord. And I would have to say it really boils down to the desire of the heart. In the first place, I'd have to ask, what is your heart's main desire? Is it really to please the Lord, or is it to get praises from people? Because it's very difficult for someone to want to praise God and then want to get the praise from God. It's like saying, God, I want to give you praise, but I want to give myself praise too. That's something that's it's called cognitive dissonance. So that's something that doesn't really work in a Christian's life. So what I would suggest is, if you're struggling with pride, the first thing you gotta do is look at the intentions of your actions. If you're gonna do something good, if you're gonna do something great, if you're gonna do something noble or noteworthy, ask yourself why. Do you fantasize about people giving you praise? Are you imagining yourself being complimented, being congratulated, being told that you're so wonderful and this and that? Do you imagine that in your head, or do you not even think about it? So if you keep thinking about it, if you know, rehearse in your mind how to thank people for the praises, how to kind of shrug off the praises when you receive them, that I think would be a sign of a prideful heart, because you're already premeditating being praised, and so you're already thinking of what it would be like to be praised, admired, glorified, etc. That shouldn't really be the case. So I would say number one is check your heart, check your motives for why you do what you do. Are you, when you, for example, and this goes for everyone, Bible teachers, preachers, and elders and pastors for the men. And if you're a lady, then this could be, Bible teachers, disciples, disciplers, or whatever you're doing, right? Not just in church, but even outside church. If you're a Christian, here's the first question you got to think about. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I preaching well so that people know how great of a preacher I am? Am I teaching the Bible clearly so that people will think of me as a very, very good Bible teacher? Am I doing this or that at work so that I will gain this reputation of being this really good guy when it comes to this area or that area? So the first question would be, or the first advice I would give is, ask yourself why you do what you do. My second piece of advice is prayer. I would suggest that you ask God to reveal to you your true motives, what you really are trying to accomplish with your behavior and your actions and your accomplishments. So, ask God to reveal to you the condition of your heart. Third, once there is someone who praises you and you realize, ooh, that struck the ego, ooh, that was fueling my pride. I would suggest a simple thank you for the compliment, and then talk about how or the process that God was how God was the one who actually allowed you to accomplish that. Like for example, you're a sales agent, you're trying to make a sale, and you sold X number of units in a month, and let's say it was really, really good. People would thank you, would praise you. You could simply just say, thank you so much. Yeah, I really worked hard for it, but it wouldn't have been possible if God didn't give me the clients. Or it wouldn't have been possible if God didn't allow me to really talk to them one by one. Or it wouldn't have been possible if. So you're recognizing that all your efforts would not have made any kind of result or fruit if God had not allowed it. So that's the third thing I would say. Just pause and then make sure you point back to God. One more thing: when you're doing something that's really good, that's really noteworthy, that other people are thankful for. One of the tricks to stay humble, or I wouldn't say trick, but one of the very effective ways to stay humble or to not fuel the pride is by not uh, increasing their debt to you or their indebtedness to you, or by not deepening or exaggerating what you have done for them. So, for example, you do someone a favor, right? So, let's say you're doing someone a favor and someone says, "Oh, thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you, bro. I'm so grateful." And it might stroke your pride. It's very, very tempting to say, "Oh, you're very, very welcome. I really did this for you because, it was so hard to accomplish, but I was able to do it just for you." What you're doing is you're trying to make the person feel even more indebted to you. And that could be, I'm not saying everyone who does that is manipulative, but it could be a form of manipulation, or it could be perceived as manipulative by others. So be careful with that. Like, if you do a favor for someone, do it for them. If they're thankful, just say you're welcome. Let that be that. And then, how they repay the favor is up to them. Because in the first place, we're not doing favors to others just so that they would be indebted to us, right? I hope that's not the case. We're not trying to trying to get as many people to be as indebted to us as much as possible so we can get favors from them later on. That's not how life works, or that's not how the Christian life ought to work. We're supposed to serve with a loving heart, with a heart that truly is generous and desires to help them, and that's it. So be very careful, because that could be very quickly transformed into a pride issue, and people, or it could be the impression is very prideful. Oh, that guy, if he does you a favor, better steer clear after, because he's gonna make it sound like it was such a huge deal for him or for her, and she's gonna make you pay it later. She's gonna impress it upon you. Oh, remember that favor I did for you? I'm gonna call in a favor now, huh? It's so that can be very dangerous, right? So be careful with that. Pride can be a very, very tricky thing. So one of the biggest ways to prevent that is also to have accountability partners. Pride has a way of hiding and getting under your skin. So accountability partners who love you enough to tell you the blatant truth would be very helpful, because they could call your attention to a prideful thing that you might already be doing, or already a habit that you're already adopting into your life. So yeah, that's it for today. God bless you guys.